Alright, so we're going to be looking at, or try to look at what went wrong during the Dallas Fuel versus Seoul Dynasty game. So we're already at 2-2.
Seoul strikes back, Effect taken out as well. Kills coming in on both
Alright, so this
sides.
was super messy, and I think it was an overcommitment by Seoul Dynasty.
And Seoul Dynasty able to kind of fall back a little bit here.
It's only Toby and
goes to
Zumba.
Dallas though.
Yeah, they kind of messed up there. Like I think they try to overcompensate by the fact that they picked Jaehong like super early.
Defense, and it just isn't working out. Dallas Fuel is catching.
So that results in a super early like
exactly
cap.
what we said here is we see Dallas take point A. This
Fleta is in when he shouldn't be. Good pickoff. They should have. Everyone that's here should have died. Effect goes a little bit way too forward and dies. Miro somehow somewhere finds Harry Hook.
That momentum has been immediately crushed.
If Harry Hook hadn't have died there, or I don't know where the hell Harry Hook was, but had he not died there, it would have worked out. They would have picked that Effect, and they would have had the early fight when Fleta was still respawning, and it would have been a 6v5.
There we go, Jalen right there. You gotta be so careful, man. You eat a right click and with no mercy around a res, that's the end of your push. So, and you don't want Harry Hook to have to use that early.
Yeah, that was a bit risky just to get the tack visor, but only had 10% left. However, here we go.
This was super messy, and Harry Hook was way too deep.
XQC on the point already. They got to deal with that.
Good follow up. But see,
Dragon Blade, XQC.
Let me see.
Out of the picture for the moment, anyway.
I wanna.
So that's the end of your push. So, and you don't want Harry Hook to have to use that early.
No,
yeah, that was a bit risky just to get the tack visor.
All right. So Munchkin is in.
Left, however, here we go.
Munchkin was behind them, and XQC and Effect were there, and Mickey was still back.
XQC out of the picture for the moment anyway.
So XQC and Effect.
And XQC, okay, so XQC and Effect, like XQC dies right there because Miro, Zumba, and Fleta all chase. While Mickey is with just Custa, I think Mickey should be. I think it's like a lack of communication there. Just because Mickey should be with XQC. If they're committing onto the point, they should probably commit together. Like Mickey should go with XQC. I don't see a reason why he should stick so far back if they like, or why they're there even. If they already lost Harry Hook, they should get out. Mickey and Custa should be on the retreat. They should be probably closer to spawn.
A little bit faster. Looks like a miscommunication because the way Seoul played that was to commit to the hallway and the staircase and then turn around onto the point.
Way in already,
because they were given time to
and
do
the rest
that
of Fuel isn't even close. So
percentage built up yet on the point itself.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Yeah, Effect gets picked before the rest of Dallas get into position. So he dies, and then they go, oh, it's a 5v6. Go, 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 go. Like they react. They're super aggro after they get the pick on Effect, and they just capitalize on Effect's mistake right there. Like I think Effect is trying to do too much solo carry and get onto the and like trying to do too many things and like force them onto the point, but which is fine. Like forcing Seoul back onto the point is a good strat, but I think it should be
from Toby and Jaehong.
Fuel is already in position. AKM is in.
And instead, they're committing fewer players onto the
without
point
supports. XQC is main.
Coming back a little bit faster to get those
it's just like, what is that? The rest, the entirety of Seoul committed onto a 4. Yeah, it was the 4 of Dallas right there. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Jaehong with a very early transcendence here as Dallas comes in. May have wanted to
onto the point.
Yeah, so Effect is there. Munchkin goes on a solo mission against them. All of Seoul commits. They commit the transcendence to fight all of Dallas while XQC was main. They find Effect.
Dallas losing their tracer.
They still have
Where's
sound
Harry?
barrier.
Is he in position to res?
Alright, so they
Doesn't seem
committed
like
to
he
support
is.
ults. So the smart thing to do here would be to just regroup, wait for effect. AKM is in for no fucking reason. Why? Come on. Like, they shouldn't commit to this fight. This is, I think it's pretty stupid to say, like, okay, effect is down, but since it's Tracer, she can rejoin the fight faster, so we can initiate onto this fight. But in my opinion, that's a dumb move. I think the right decision is to wait for effect. They use 2 support ults, so the only thing we have to worry about is Dragon Blade, really. Dragon Blade Pulse Bomb, and they have they have Valkyrie and Custold. What is it called? Transcendence. So if they had just waited for effect, like there is no way, absolutely no way that Seoul gets Transcendence or beat in the next fight or 2. So just wait for effect. Like, this is they're committing to a stupid fight. Fleta goes in. Doesn't even have to use. Mickey's out of mech.
There's a D-mech on the Mickey. Got a duck for cover there. Can he get him?
Effect finds him. Good pick.
Saves his diva. Meanwhile, AKM up on the high.
Miro uses Primal. He zones out AKM. Zumba's out of mech. So tactical visor. Miro. No one comes back to peel for AKM. Fleta uses Dragon Blade, gets Mickey, gets Mac. Rujay Hong gets effect.
Didn't quite need the ultimate there, but either way,
so
will hold in Dallas down to a
Jesus. All right, so now now take a look at the ults. Dallas had Monkey ult, Diva ult. I think they had Pulse Bomb. They for sure had Tactical Visor. They had Transcendence. They had Valkyrie. They had 6 ults. 6 ults. And got nothing out of that. I think they using Valkyrie aggressively is a good thing. I think it's the best way to use the ult now, or has been. So you use Valkyrie, you engage, but AKM got zoned out. No one peeled for him, so they got no value out of Tactical Visor. Zumba just used the Diva Bomb to get back into mech. Miro used that Primal Rage to zone, which was a fantastic use of that ult. Like, if AKM had been in a position to get value, that it would have been done, probably. But I think it was there was no plan going into this. I think they just said, just use all the ults. We have 6 ults. Blah, blah, blah. They just use all support ults. I do think, and if you look at it now, Rujay Hong now has the Transcendence. So going into next fight, they're gonna have a support ult, while Dallas Fuel has nothing, even though Dallas had all the ults in their favor. If they had just, I think if they had played that a little bit more patiently, it would have worked out, and they wouldn't have had to. They would have been able to rotate ults a little bit better.
Also, both support ults committed. Tactical Visor, Dallas Fuel just threw everything they had at Seoul. So now it's going to be about some eco pushes here. They need to get their economy back on.
There's this discussion on Reddit, and I know it's gonna sound like, oh, Reddit analyst, even though I guess I myself am one of those, but it's a bit of, it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion to keep trying this strat. Like, they keep going top right, and it's okay. So by this point, you know, effect is either gonna come left, he's gonna come main, or he's gonna go super deep in front of his team on right. And he's either gonna go in too deep, die, pressure point, and then go behind Seoul to get, and then Munchkin goes on a mission to shut him down. So he keeps the effect running. Meanwhile, all of Dallas is still up there. If Munchkin gets the pick on effect, then Seoul collapses on Dallas. And you know that XQC is either going to go on a solo mission and then be reactive to Seoul's dive, and then everyone's just feeding ults. So it's kind of a dumb strat in my opinion. I think by this point they should have changed something. Because let's see what happens. He has,
so it's going to be really
okay, gets a
AKM, man. He was down to
fat,
like 10 HP a second ago from
a fat right click.
Gotta be very careful.
XQC dove alone. There it is again. It's like solo mission, and then Seoul collapses.
They've still got that
effect dies. There you go. So now they
Munchkin.
might get aggressive here since they're on the run, or they don't need to. So they might not risk it since they don't need to. That's 2 down. That's a 6v4.
Anywhere near the ultimates, I think they need to pull this off.
They don't.
But yeah, right there, I don't know if this is a misplay from. I think this is more of a misplay from XQC than it is Mickey. Like, there's been a lot of blame going on to Mickey, saying he should dive in with his monkey. But in my opinion, this comp, this Soldier Tracer, would be better as a counter dive. Like, XQC diving in solo is not the same as diving with your D.Va, your Tracer, and your Genji. Like, it just doesn't, it's not gonna work that way, in my opinion. Like, you just can't, you can't force the dive playstyle when you're running an anti-dive comp.
It's unlikely they're going to get
also
Custa.
I think it's more apparent in the Valiant match, but Custa is unable to shut down the enemy Tracer. Munchkin has a pulse bomb, so he's gonna look for that fatty stick.
It's gonna be tough.
Custa ran into it basically. Gets pushed too. Seoul uses the trance aggressively. They pick 3. This fight is over. Mickey should get out. He uses bomb. I mean, I guess it's 6 seconds. It doesn't really matter.
Anyone from Dallas even get there? Doesn't look like it.
That was a 6-minute hold.
Holding Dallas to just a single point in their time bank round. No ticks taken.
This is just like
point B.
bad to look at. I think it's like a super one-dimensional strat. It's go up top and get AKM in a position to use the tactical visor. Their win condition is to use the tactical visor. But they kept going and they kept trying to force it. They kept like Seoul adapted and was like, okay, we're gonna. Like, they figured out that Effect or XQC are going to be the ones that are going to go on a solo mission and pressure point. So they take them out, then they counter dive. I've said this like 2 times, so I'm feeling like a broken record. But they kept doing that and kept doing that. And I think this is also Dallas making bad solo plays in the sense that Effect a couple of times went in too deep. AKM also went in front of his team and then just dies. I think XQC should have changed this play style. I think for the comp, Mickey was actually playing the role well, except when he went after everyone died and like pushed in too deep. Lost Mech got staggered or used ult when he shouldn't have.
Them to win this map.
Toby,
let's skip this.
The fastest I've ever seen, honestly.
Alright, so now Flood is playing the Widow. Dallas is playing this. Well, they're playing out of sight lines. Effect gets hit right there. Recalls. Gets out of LOS. AKM gets Munchkin. Good pick. So
we've seen this happen. Many
that was a good move by
this time Dallas is definitely
Mickey,
ready for the Widowmaker.
trying to get Flood off
on either side of the door, with Effect playing one side, the other 5 playing the other, and they're just
Flood is on top of the perch again. Again, Dallas is playing this pretty well. I would.
Is trying to Fire at
If I was, I would
range,
spread
not
out
doing
a
lot
little
of
bit
damage.
more.
Munchkin
I
has
would
now
make it so that
into, he's
supports
gonna
are
try
a
and pressure
little
the
bit
point.
further
He's
back.
coming
Like I
around
don't
the
think
side.
Custa
Well, this is
should
going
be
to
there.
cause Dallas to have to break their defensive position, man.
All right, there it is. There it is.
Custa, that's a rough start for Dallas.
This is a recurring theme with Custa.
Sightlines from the Widowmaker, so
He keeps
it's a little bit tricky here
disrespecting
for
the
Flat
Widow
Out. Fast trying
sightlines.
to Fire at
Also,
medium
they
range
didn't
without
call
doing
it
a lot of
out
damage.
that,
Munchkin has now made it
hey,
into,
Fleta's
he's
on
gonna
top.
try and pressure the point.
Like,
He's coming around the
Mickey's
side.
looking
Well, this is
back
gonna
for
cause
some
Dallas
reason,
to have to break
even
their
though
defensive
he knows the
position,
threat
man.
is in front.
Gotta deal with this.
Widowmaker is
Takes
top
out
and no
Custa,
one
that's a
calls
rough
it
start
out,
for Dallas.
and
He's
Custa
on the roof
doesn't
now. He's got a
move.
great spot
Or,
as he ducks down
in
for the
my
health
opinion,
back
he
here.
shouldn't have been there
Has
in
the
the first place.
Infosign up, so he knows where everybody is.
Alright, so XQC is still playing,
Shots coming in. Oh, this
trying
is
to play out of
Harry.
sight It's like they
Chased
haven't
out by the
communicated
Diva.
the fact that Fleta is up there.
Exposing them to the fire of
Like, in my
Fleta.
opinion, the
And now
the
Seoul
smart thing
Dynasty
to do
continuing to kind of-
would have been like, oh, the Widow's up top. You either commit the Diva and then rotate everyone else around 2 point. You've lost Custa, so XQC staying there is just like, it's welcoming getting killed, and you're basically freeing up point, in my opinion. So I say if you rotate towards point on the right side and play out of the sightlines of the fucking dojo, you should be fine, and you can maybe even wait for a respawn. You just increase the distance between them so that they have to use resources, because right there they were just, Seoul was just able to play the corner and play the like around the building, and XQC has no support, so he just dies. Him and Mickey just, he loses mech and whatnot.
Kind of pressure this point. There goes Mickey.
Effect
Slowly
did
but
the
surely, Seoul
right thing
looks like they're
and
gonna take
pressured
point without too
Fleta?
much trouble.
Second attack.
There
That's
won't
when
be a
Munchkin
recontest,
forces
I'm
them back
pretty
onto
sure.
the point. You'll notice Miro's positioning behind the rock in the Zen Garden, so he was playing defense onto the point itself, trying to make sure that they weren't able to make it cleanly onto the objective. Harry
The
Hook
Harmony
swapping to
Orb
the island. He
basically
needs to
just
keep his
told
head out of the
Fleta
crosshairs
where
of
Harry
Fleta.
Hook is.
Yeah. Fleta was way up there trying to
XQC
find
jumps
those early
in,
picks.
tries to
Now they
create
come in,
some
they've got the
space, don't let them
Transcendence,
just
there's a
walk
shot
in.
onto XQC.
But then Mickey is
Down to the
too
bottom
late
health as well.
to
keep them
heal
alive.
for
They've got
him.
that sound barrier as well, but AKM with the tactical
Good
visor. A stick
Effect,
to the
that was
It's
a great
to
play
kill.
by Effect.
Meanwhile, Zenba
XQC
waiting
uses
with
ult
the rest
though.
of his team. They can still push this slow as they
I
did
think,
take
no,
out
that was
AKM.
Mero, that was Mero.
Transcendence comes in
Mickey
now.
loses
It's going to be a
mag.
bit trickier to
Trans.
push. Still having to fall back a little bit here. And they just want to wait this one out. Ooh,
Good
sleep
sleep,
right onto
good
Zenba.
sleep.
Gonna wake him up pretty quickly though. Miro low, but the push still continuing. All they need is that first
XCC
pick.
is
Fleta's
booty.
trying to grind it out. Yeah, Fletic has come back.
But he's-
AKM on the Sombra
He's
this time.
pushing them out.
Oh, Custa goes down.
Fleta picks out Custa, so
opportunity
Soul
to
says,
push in
"Let
right
this is the
now.
time to
Munchkin
re-engage."
still
Mickey
trying
is
to deal
super
this
low.
nano boost onto Mickey.
He's
Yeah, that's right. Mickey in a lot
Okay,
of trouble.
that was a
stick on
great
the
pick
Zimba, though.
play.
He's gonna get demacked as
And
well.
XCC followed
Munchkin,
too,
meanwhile,
so that's
throws in his
good. They're
pulse
playing
bomb.
this
Soul
pretty well.
Dynasty
Like
coming up with the kills, and Dallas in a lot of trouble right now. They gotta handle SQC. He's going down.
But where was the
Transcendence for
effect right
J-Hong
there?
again. Gets ball back a little bit here. And they just want to wait this one out.
Miro
Ooh,
gets
sleep right
smacked,
onto
gets
Zimba.
Mickey.
Gonna wake him up
Zumba's
pretty quickly
slapped.
though. Miro low.
Miro
with
is
the push,
super low.
still
He should
continuing.
die here.
All they need is that first
I think
pick.
that was
They can
Fleta's
try
back
to
now.
grind it
a
out.
thing
Yeah,
there.
Fletic
I think
has come
Miro
back.
should have died
AKM on
there.
the Sombra this time.
Okay,
Oh,
he was super low. Miro was super low. They weren't able to fucking capitalize there and kill him. So he manages to run back. He manages to run back to his team, get healed up. Either Toby or J-Hong are gonna have enough healing. Again, Cuss is the first one to fucking go down. I don't. Come on, bruh. This happens so often. Harry Hook has a nano, so he's probably gonna invest it. Probably Monkey.
Custa goes down.
Yeah, so Soul engages here.
Right now.
XQC drops the bubble, I think, right there. Yeah.
That's right.
Mickey's
in a lot
super
of
deep,
trouble.
way
Stick
too
on the
low.
Zimba, though. He's gonna
Effect
get
gets the
demacked as
stick,
well.
which is
Munchkin,
good
meanwhile, throws in
because
his pulse
XQC is
bomb.
able to follow up. J-Hong gets AKM, so he's probably coming out of spawn. Mickey just fell down there, so when During that fight, yeah. He lost back, so Miro gets him. Jaehong is probably playing out of main. Toby's probably right next to him. No, there he is. I see him right there. So XQC's trying to chase Toby right now. They have sights, so
Seoul Dynasty coming up with the kills, and Dallas in a lot of trouble.
He gets shredded right there.
SQC, he's going down. Transcendence for
Yep,
Jaehong
they communicate the fact that, hey, Monkey's super low, so they chase him. He's dead, and they just lose it.
It's gonna pave the way for Seoul Dynasty.
I think it's just communication and where people are, and I think Custa needs to stop playing in Widow sidelines.